All right. I was really big into Commander. Uh, Quick story, I suppose. Whenever I first started playing Magic, shortly after Commander was created, or it was in the like the beta version before it was like an official Wizards recognized format. So whenever the first Commander decks came out, which I feel like one of them was Animar, and there were a couple others at that time, but Animar was the one that stuck out to me that I liked the best. Uh, that was whenever I was introduced to Commander, and then basically just played that format ever since. And I had some casual 60 card decks, but I never really stuck with the standard format. Um, they might have technically been legacy decks, but they were not what you would think of a legacy deck. They weren't competitive. They were just like legal in that format. Um, or maybe even vintage. I forget which one right now. But Commander was the one thing I really stuck with and felt like when I had people over, we would play Commander. We would play four-man groups, sometimes bigger, and that was just basically where a lot of my Magic experience came from. Um, so I have this Sithis deck in paper and decided, you know what, I'm going to make that in Arena because I had seen another Sithis deck when I was playing Itali, which is my only historic Brawl deck right now. Standard, I have Gix, Joda, and Adeline for Brawl, but I only had Itali for historic, so I thought, man, I've got this Sithis paper deck. This one in Arena does not have near the cards that my paper deck has, and the paper deck still, quite frankly, is lacking as well. I really wanted it to become CEDH, so it's more like a budget CEDH paper deck. But I did what I could with the cards that I have in Arena. I was able to get Sterling Grove, which I was happy about. Rite of Harmony, I was happy about. This isn't. I don't think this is even in the deck that I have, but there's still some really good cards that synergize really well with Sithis, like the fact that this is an enchantment and it also allows my enchantments to be cast for less. So, and there's cards like Sanctum Weaver that I have access to. Veil of Summer, which is absolutely a CEDH card, is available here. Utopia Sprawl, I just think is great in general. And then some other cheap enchantments. Unbridled Growth is just a maybe not even a pet card, but it's a card that I've been trying uh, in Sithis because you pay one and you can draw with it, and then it could potentially fix one of your lands if you needed to, but really it's more like pay one, draw, gain a life with Sithis, and then just sack this, draw another card. So it's like draw two for one green, which I really like. This is an arena only card. Again, one green mana, and I'm going to draw with it, so it's a little more likely that its ability is relevant, where I can put a land from my hand onto the battlefield. And then just some other ramp, Addison's Pilgrim. I actually didn't look into a bunch of the green mana dorks when I made this deck. This is just first draft of cards that I had in paper, like Reprobation. What else did I have? I really wished that I could have had Carpet of Flowers in here. Um, Enchantress's Presence. This was a card I was happy I was able to find in Arena, which is strange because they have the Onslaught symbol on this one, but of course you can't just go get every card from Onslaught, I don't think. Certain cards from certain sets you can get, like Reprobation is Modern Horizons 1, and I was able to find this card, but if I searched for other cards from Modern Horizons 1 or Modern Horizons 2 for that matter, they just weren't available in Arena. So, so I got some things. One thing of note, the Sanctum Weaver is going to be huge mana generation for us, which is why I have some tutors in here like Court of Calling, and I have The Moonblessed Cleric that searches for an enchantment. I have the Idyllic Tutor, which is really nice to have in Arena because it came out in Theros. So I have some tutors to get Sanctum Weaver. I'm not counting on it in this 100-card deck, like making any sort of combo, but this card plus Gauntlets of Light gives infinite mana because you have Sanctum Weaver tapping for, even if it's just 4 mana, Sanctum Weaver taps for green. Let's say 4 green, right? If it has the gauntlets on it, I guess it would have to tap for 4 white, suppose then, because it's 3 to untap. But this untaps the enchanted creature. So you get this on the Weaver, you tap the Weaver for 4, you untap it, you have netted 1 mana, then you could tap for green, and then you pay 3, and now you've got 2 mana. So you can just do this until you have enough mana to do a bunch of other things, and then that would be where having an enchantment that allows you to bounce it back to your hand is really important. So Meticulous Excavation says return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. You can return this to your hand, use the extra mana from the Sanctum Weaver to cast it, and then draw with Sithis. And so if I ever did manage to get this combo, it would be Sanctum Weaver, which is always going to tap for a bunch of mana, I'm planning, with the gauntlets, untap, add Nauseam, make 1,000 mana, cast the Excavation, use 3 more mana to return it to hand, cast it again, return it to hand, cast it again, and then you just get to draw, gain a life, draw, gain a life, until you get to something like Sigil of the Empty Throne, where you then cast it a bunch of times to create a bunch of angels, or you get to Archon of Sun's Grace and create a bunch of Pegasus tokens, or something like that. So, and everything else is just basically banking on drawing cards, interrupting the opponent's board state, removal spells. Most of them are enchantments if I could get them, but of course I just have some other good cards in here too. It's nice that Ossification is an enchantment for Sithis. Petrify, these pacifism-like cards that also now target artifacts or planeswalkers, really nice. So, and then Skrelb's Hive, because it's a 100-card deck. I need some other things that I can do, some other enchantments that are going to do more than just draw me cards. So, we're going to see how it goes. This is it. It's the first run. I'm not sure what else to say at this moment, so I feel like I've talked enough. We're just going to go home. We're going to play. I'm going to re-trigger this. I have been worried about doing this because I didn't know what it would do, but now I know that you basically just get to do this once per day and try and get to a 750 coin, and then if you don't, then you wait until you do, and those are the ones that you complete. So we're going to play Sithis, and then I do have a draft that I'm going to complete too, that there will be a part 2 of in another video that I've just uploaded the part 1 of, so go check it out. My deck is not the best, but I think it's like 3-2 right now, which is okay, because I could easily pull away with a couple more wins, especially the way that it's been going. So it's fun. It's Dominaria United, which it seems like is just everybody build 5-color decks. It's kind of like it. I think I said it in the video even. It makes me think of Chromatic Cube. It's like it's like drafting Chromatic Cube from an actual tangible set. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, man, I like that Oracle, the Alpha. That is cool. Okay, first look at Sithis. We're playing against Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. Sack it, legendary creatures you control, get 1/0, and gain indestructible until end of turn. And it's a 3/3 for 2 already. Muting my opponent just because that's how I feel about people sometimes. Well, I mean, we've got good lands. We have mana ramp. If we have another land for it, this is one of our potential win cons, and then we have a double draw. Basically, this acts as a second Sithis. And we have a turn 1 spell that will probably wait until we have Sithis out to cast, because this is also just pay a white mana, draw 1. So we'll keep 7, we'll play the Hydra. Oh, they go first. We'll keep 7, we'll play the Hydra. Turn 2, play something. Oof. Okay, so they immediately played a Liberator to destroy an artifact or an enchantment. We will play the Pathway, and I guess we're just going to play Spirited Companion because we don't care about that one dying, and then we really need to figure out how we're going to get rid of that Liberator. Okay, they played a spell, so that's not going to flip. That's a good sign for us. But man, like, we're already in pretty deep trouble. It's nice that they just don't have any red mana until they can use the Loam Speaker. Gosh, okay, well I guess we are just going to go ahead and seal that thing. They can wait until we target it, and then they can activate it, and then they can just destroy the Spirited Companion. What's nice is that the seal is going to stay on the battlefield, and it's going to work with our Ancestral Mask. And I have to be honest, I'm not sure if I have something to bounce the seal with or not. So we'll just see how this next turn goes. Okay. Wilson, man, how cool. Alrighty, I really like Wilson. I just think you used to have a 2/2 bear for 2, and it was a common, and now you have a 2/2 legendary bear for 2, a green and a colorless. Reach, trample, ward 2, and then I guess now there's an arena version with specialize, so it's just really sweet. I think that's cool. Okay, so now here, I feel like we go Sithis. I don't know why we wouldn't. We could also just Enchantress's Presence Paladin class. What else would we do? Sithis Shigeki? Yeah, I'm okay with either of those things, I think. But I think I'm going to save Sithis. No, because that's just an enchantment. Yeah, let's go Sithis. Let's see if it survives. We'll cast Shigeki. Draw a card. Reprobation is nice, so now we have some removal. And now we're one turn away from Sigil. And they're going to have some enchantment removal, or else we cast Sigil. If it makes it till our next turn, then we can play potentially 3 things. And they're just going to try and like aggro us out here. So we can block Wilson. We'll take the Lannery Storm. They get to draw from Toski. They have had no... About to jinx myself. Okay, nope. I was going to say they have had no red mana this entire game. Okay, nice. Satyr Enchanter. We're going to draw some more cards here. It's unfortunate this isn't an enchantment. I think we're just going to run out the Sigil. I don't know why not, and then we just hold up some blockers. They hit for 5 or something next turn, but if we get this out, and then we cast a few enchantments, like, we're just in such good shape. So, Sigil of the Empty Throne is coming out. Another Pacifism, no tax, and then we're just hoping that they don't have like a Nature's Claim or something that's going to be able to get rid of the Sigil. Let's see, we're still at 21. Sack the treasure for Lannery Storm, maybe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, we're just going to take it. I don't want to lose any of our creatures. I guess we could have blocked Wilson. Um, this does give them a chance to draw quite a few answers. Wow, I guess I wasn't paying much attention, because we could have actually blocked the Toski too. Okay, well, it's just more ramp, really. We're not too worried about that. Surprised we don't have another land in here. That's pretty wild. So let's play. What matters most? We need enchantments to be played. So let's cast. Let's cast the Reprobation. Probably on Toski, so that way they can't draw anymore. So it's not indestructible anymore. They can't draw with it. We get to draw from Sithis. That land is nice, although it's coming in tapped. Then we're probably going to enchant probably the Bodyguard. Man, our lands are not right. Oh, this is brutal. Because we need 2 white and we just don't have it. I guess we just play maybe the Presence then. Or the Mask on Shigeki. This is just so terrible. Guess we could Shigeki? It just doesn't seem so good. Wow. I guess this is why I need more dual lands. Well, we're not going to attack here. So let's just go through combat. And then I suppose we're going to play the Enchantress's Presence and just make another angel. And the next turn we can Ancestral Mask. Create another angel, draw another card. And then we'll play our tapped land. It's our first duel, so it's something this deck could use potentially. It's just more ways to create both colors. And or I could tap manually. So they can't draw off of Toski anymore. They have 7 mana available, and if they attack with Lannery, they have 8. 9 if they attack with the Goblin. I mean, they could do something big. Okay, really on theme with the legendaries here. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So they get to buff something and give it a haste, so everything is already hasty. Except for what just came in. I don't mind chumping with Shigeki at this point. It's really not doing us anything. It counts towards the mask, but like... we're also about to take 6, so we'll just chump. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy block. Like, they could have threatened with the trample. And they've got another play. Looks like. Nope, nothing. Okay. God, this is great. So Jukai Naturalist. Probably starting with Paladin class, because it just costs 1 anyway. So I love that. 1 mana draws us 2 cards and creates an angel now. Pretty great. Into an Archon of Sun's Grace, which will not trigger anything, but then we can play Cleric class to create a Pegasus token. So that is actually really nice. Cleric class here. Create another angel. Draw another 2 cards. And I do have a Reliquary Tower in here, that way I can also discard some stuff. Or that way I don't have to discard stuff, rather. So they can block with Halana if they want to. It's got reach. So does Wilson. We have to discard a card. I feel like Skrell's Hive is probably the weakest thing here. So we'll get rid of that. I like the Dryad. just helps with fixing, and if we're drawing a couple of cards, drawing 4 cards each turn, or 5 cards each turn, for example, if we play a couple enchantments, then having an extra land drop would be nice. Especially since they don't seem to be missing any of theirs, and they're using treasure tokens every turn. They need enchantment removal, that's really what they need. Creature removal on the Archon would be nice for them. Okay. So Sithis is down, but she only costs 4 to recast. And we still have the ability on the Enchantress's Presence, and we still create angels every time we cast an enchantment, so it's still doing alright. And Lannery doesn't have trample. Why do you keep why do you keep doing that? They have a reason, I suppose. I just maybe they need the treasures for something, but it's just very surprising to me. So what's nice is that this already helps us, so now it's working with us. Their spells cost 1 more. Here's Reliquary Tower coming in clutch. I feel like we play the Naturalist here. So I don't really need to pay 4 for Sithis right now. We still get an angel, we still draw a card. Swords to Plowshares is an amazing draw. So now it is, look, Kenriths for 1, Planar Disruption for 1, Dryad for 2, which we'll just go ahead and play. Maybe we draw a land to play here. We don't, but look, Skyblessed Samurai only costs 1. I think we're going to go ahead and, like, Kenriths something. Probably the Halana and Alina. Create another angel. They can have their 3/3. Draw a card. Forgot that you draw on Kenriths too. It's so good. Candle Trap is going to give something Defender. How about we just give it to Lannery Storm? Create an angel. Moonblessed Cleric. So not an enchantment, but still searches for 1. Right now, I think we're just going to keep pacifying things on their board. They can sack their creature in response to this if they want to. We have another pacifism, but I'm going to hold up Swords to Plowshares. That way we have some sort of interaction. During their turn. Just because we don't really know what's going to happen. We could gamble that we're going to draw a land off of this, but I don't feel like it's necessary right now. We'll go to attackers, we'll swing for 16 in the air. Now they block with Wilson. I mean, this is pretty much how we wanted this to go. It's certainly taken a while to do it, but yeah, I don't know if Minskin Boo is gonna do it.
Then, we knock them to the ground, my friend.
Well, oh, and they get to draw a bunch of cards. Well, that's gonna hurt. That's pretty good. That might actually matter, although we've still got 7 blockers, and at this point... Okay. Okay. Alright. Fun. Well, there's Sithis enchantments. Round 1. Very cool. I'm going to go ahead and upload this one, and I'll probably come back with another one. Keep playing through this deck and refining it a little more. Thanks for watching.